Record. Who did you go to Belgium for?
What's going on? This is an unprofessional start to the podcast.
Okay, sorry, let me start the podcast. Welcome to B-Tech Philosophers with me, Elliot Steele, and Michael Odewale. Michael, who'd you go to Belgium for?
Well, let's have some context here. I was refreshing my news app because I like to stay updated, and I saw that Emma Raducanu's stalker has been given a ban from her house.
But not from her house, from her. Her. Everyone's banned from her house unless she invites them in.
Right, because
that's how houses work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she lives in Bromley, and a stalker's he's not allowed within 12 miles of her, something like that.
12 miles?
Is
that's mental. That's insane. How could you enforce that?
I think
you're saying 12 miles to get out of there. No, hold on. I know what you're doing. You're trying to do some tricks.
Basically, I said, I wouldn't go to Bromley for anybody because it's very far away.
Not for anybody. You said you wouldn't go Bromley even for Emma Raducanu.
That's what I meant, right? Because it's like 2 trains, maybe even a tram involved, and it's just too much travel. And then Elliot, he said, what did you say?
I said, shut up, bruv. You went to Belgium for a girl.
I went to go visit a girl in Belgium, yeah, just to do some sightseeing.
Just to do sightseeing?
Just do sightseeing.
What did you see in Belgium?
I saw her. I saw...
What's the capital of Belgium?
Huh?
What's the capital of Belgium?
They haven't decided yet. They're still
all right.
adjudicating that.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good trip. Did I go on a romantic purpose that didn't work out? Yes, I did. Did I know we were bringing up personal stories on this pod? Just straight out the jump, I did not know that.
Last week you literally went, you're not the most faithful of people.
I asked you. It's like when Oprah, when she said that thing, Are you
comparing yourself to Oprah?
Well, I ask questions in a very sort of like an open-hearted way.
You're nothing like Oprah. Oprah could go Belgium and get laid.
Wow. Just straight shots. Are we 5 minutes on the clock? Okay, just remember this, Elliot. when we do our final podcast next week,
I tell people this podcast is going to last 10 episodes until we fall out.
We're falling out already. What do you mean until we fall out? This is outrageous.
You look very nice, man. You look very cool in your sunglasses. You got a nice cardigan on.
Don't try and butt me up.
You're looking good, man.
Cross the line.
This is good. It's good you went to Belgium because then this happened and it made you like fix up, get some style. You rock sunglasses indoor as well. I couldn't do that.
So you're saying I needed to get my heart broken to obtain swag?
I think within heartbreak, you have 2 roads. You either go on a road of becoming a better person, or like you either go like, well, I'm the problem, I'm the issue. I need to fix up, or you go, fuck that bitch, and you turn into a misogynist.
Right.
And those are like the 2 roads for like young men when they get their heart broken.
It's like Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. He just kind of switched up, started wearing suits. It's like getting mad. You ever watched the show?
Yeah, I've watched the show.
Why are you staring at me so blankly when I'm describing?
I just thought it was a poor comparison.
No, but it's the same thing. And to me, it's like, I'm gonna show every woman by changing up my whole fit and my whole game.
Right, yeah. And is that what you did when you went to Belgium and got your heart broken?
I didn't get my heart broken. My heart was already broken. I just went to go get it confirmed in Belgium.
Why don't you tell the story?
I don't want to tell the story. It's week 2. I want to talk philosophy. That's what I want to do.
Why don't we talk the philosophy of heartbreak?
Okay, your fucking last week, your big story was a girl didn't text you back.
And she still ain't text me back.
Now you're suddenly Mr. Open-Hearted.
That was incredibly open-hearted of me to start the podcast with, look at this vulnerable way of being.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, and then this week I was going to tell another little open-hearted thing that I got going on.
Well, let's talk about that.
All right. If I tell this story's embarrassing.
Okay.
Then you got to tell the Belgium story.
I'll tell parts of it in case she's a listener.
She's not going to be listening, bro.
She won't listen.
Right, I've checked the analytics. We've got nobody in Belgium. We've not got anyone outside the M25.
Could be using a VPN. She could be listening discreetly.
So yeah, my issue I got this week, is about forgiveness.
Okay.
And if I will do it, and if I should do it, yeah.
Okay, tell me.
But you see a couple, like 11 years ago, yeah. Just to set the scene, like who I was in school, I was a little fat kid with long hair. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, if I went to school in America, I'd have been the kid that they'd have gone, hey, if he turns up with like a duffel bag and some eyeliner on, you better get running.
All right, but you were fat, so it would have been hard to.
Well, yeah, but like there was a school shooting joke.
Oh no, I got it.
I don't think my weight would have affected how fast the bullets. I wasn't so fat that I slowed down the bullets coming out of an AR-15.
I think if I had a morbidly obese shooter, I would still be running out of there. But I would, maybe stretch, take my time a bit more. You know what I mean?
Grab your bag.
Grab my bag. Just split second things I wouldn't do.
Put stuff into your pencil case.
Reply to that text just as the guns. You know what I mean? Things like that. But no, continue your story.
So I'm like walking down my road one day, finishing a box of 4 wings and chips. Classic fat South London kid meal. I put it in this bin outside this house.
Did you order the free and he gave you an extra, or did you not have the?
No, I got the. When you used to get, I used to order 4 wings. The boss man would give you 5.
Yeah.
Ooh,
you didn't have that.
Day. No, I did have that. I had that relationship with boss man,
but just not today. Not that.
Well, this isn't the part. The story isn't boss man didn't give me 5 wings. Should I forgive him?
I'm just trying.
When I paid for the 4.
Okay, that's a good. I hope your story is better than that one. That's actually pretty good.
So I'm walking down the road, walking down Grange Hill, the hill of my road, and I put the box in the bin. I don't like littering in it. I'm not a litterer.
Even back then?
I don't like litterers. It's pointless. It's stupid, right? We all live here. Stop throwing things everywhere. And this guy goes outside his house. Hey, why the fuck you using my bin, bruv?
Okay.
I'm like, what? I'm 14, yeah?
Yeah.
And this, at the time, what to me, was 2 men came out of the house and like, go get that out of my fucking bin.
Really? I'm guessing by your intonation, these are black men.
I didn't want to make it racial.
I'm not saying it was racial. I'm just filling in the story. You put some bass in there. A little like Timberland in the studio. You just mixed the track a little bit.
They
put
were
some auto tune on there.
They were
okay.
And they I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. And then he went and got his dog.
What kind of dog was it?
Or like a pit bull or a staff, and he was barking at me, and I'm crying on my road, and he made me climb in the bin and get my box of chicken out of there, and then walk me down to my house. And he was like, just throw it on the fucking floor, bro. And I'm crying like, I'm not gonna throw it on the floor. Like that's the only thing I've got over this guy, innit? Is that I'm not gonna go to his level and litter.
That's impressive though, that you still maintain that level of self-respect, even though so much dignity.
There was no self-respect.
Yeah.
He just made me like my little chubby legs hanging out of the bin.
Wait, what kind of bit was it? A skip?
No, it was like a big dustbin. It was like one of those.
They haven't filled it all the way yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I had to like go to the bottom of it. It must have been bin day because my thing was like right at the bottom of it. So I'm there like some little South London fat Oscar the Grouch, legs in the air, having to get out.
Why didn't you just tip it a little bit?
I think I went to him. I think he was like, "Don't fuck up my bin," you know.
Wow.
Like, he was adamant about how I did it.
Yeah.
And then and so
he walked you back to your house.
Well, he was walking down that way anyway, so he walked down there with me and was like, just right there. They were just like giving me shit and like laughing. I was like crying, and then I stopped sort of going down that hill because they would always cause trouble.
Yeah.
And
were they walking their dog?
Yeah. They had. No, I think they left the dog in the house. They just got the dog out to me.
Just for appearances.
Just for like, we'll set our dog on you for not littering.
Yeah.
That's what it was like growing up in Thornton Heath. And then a few weeks ago, I'm walking up Grange Hill, innit? And who do I see?
The dog.
No, the dog's dead.
Okay, the dog's dead. It's been 11 years.
It's been 11 years. I know, like, when dogs die, it's usually sad, but I'm glad this dog's dead.
Yeah.
I hope it died a shitty death.
I mean, that dog was just a tool, really.
Do you think I should also forgive the dog? I should not hold any anger towards the dog?
Tell me what happened with the man, and then I'll decide on my whole.
So a few weeks ago, I walking up the hill, and he's there now. Now, bear in mind, when I was 14, I was a little chubby kid, and now I'm like 6'1", 200 pounds.
You're 200 pounds.
Yeah, I'm 200 pounds.
Okay.
And this guy, he's no longer a man, innit? To me, like he's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Like short. Maybe does a couple
You were
push-ups.
gonna say black, 5'6", short. black.
I wasn't. You've made this racial.
I'm not making it racial.
You know,
I'm just,
I can tell you're gonna side with him a little bit out of
No,
like this.
finish the story.
This. There's a little bit of you that's gonna side with him. I can tell
the
already.
environmental racism that goes on in this country has affected the black
I
man.
knew you were gonna do this. You're gonna find a way to stand
I
with
mean,
him.
you putting your rubbish in the bin, it's colonialism, really. I mean, that's how he saw it. You know, you're taking your flag and you're putting it in his brown homeland. No wonder he wanted you to take it out. I mean,
Yeah, do you know what? Even if I was on this level, fuck him. Good. That is my level of colonialism. If that's my level of colonialism for white people, that's pretty good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a downgrade from what your ancestors had, but you know, I can see he's just being a freedom fighter.
My ancestors were Egyptian, the original slaves. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I got that get out of jail free card.
How was the percentage?
Granddad was Egyptian, natural granddad.
He
Never
was
met him.
full Egyptian.
Full Egyptian.
What happened when it got to you? Because it's not there. It's not as
Well, then I guess I'm a 1/8 Egyptian or quarter Egyptian, whatever you want to call it.
really. You've been back to the homeland.
I've been to Sharm el Sheikh. I wouldn't say I went there on a homeland thing. I sat in a lovely, all-inclusive 4-star hotel and a couple pina coladas. But that's what my ancestors would have wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they
After their suffering.
after their suffering, I don't even know if they suffered.
So you're Egyptian and Jewish.
Egyptian Jew. Oh, what? Because I'm Egyptian, I can't be Jewish.
No, I'm just look. We're getting into
Oh, you see?
we're getting into the politics now. I don't know the politics as well.
The Jews were kicked out of Egypt by General Nasser, I believe, in the 50s.
Okay.
So yeah, so the Jews got, and also the Nazis were like invited in just before that. The Jews have had a bad time in a lot of places.
No one's disputing that. No one is disputing that.
And another bad time was had by a Jew on Grange Hill.
Oh, right, by you, right?
By
here.
me.
Do you think it was racial on their part? Do you think if a young black boy had put rubbish in their bin, he would have been treated the same?
No, I think it would have been very much the same treatment.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they'd have extended that courtesy.
I mean,
I don't think they'd have been like, yes, brother, use that bin. Good to see a young black man using the bin. All of that sort of energy.
I'm not gonna lie. That would have been a great pep talk for me as a young boy. I didn't really have many mentors. I think
The white man is wanting you to litter, my brother.
if you put it in if you just had black Israelites just doing basic messages
Well, the black Israelites, they're standing in Fulton Heath at the moment, right?
at the moment.
Yeah, well, not
Are they
I
doing
don't
a
know at
world
this
tour?
moment. I'm not in their group chat. I wouldn't be welcome. I can't go up to them and be like, wow, guess what? I'm part Jewish as well. We're like mates.
Yeah.
We should hang out.
You're the type that they don't like.
Yeah. They always like. I got many issues with the black Israelites. None.
Top three.
Top three. The main one is when they do the whole because we was as kings, they do the whole we were king. But not everyone could have been a king.
It defeats the purpose of what a king is.
You can't. Not everyone could have been a king. That's not how a king works.
Well, Africa was split up into a lot smaller sections, which allowed everyone to have their own kingdom in the.
Okay, and everyone.
You believed that, didn't you?
I believe before colonialism, I'm not allowed to when somebody starts telling me about Africa, I don't have the knowledge to go. Actually, I'll think it's fine. I don't have the knowledge nor the guts to do that on a podcast.
You see here, yeah. So no, but no, it's true. I think it's a metaphorical thing, but I think some of them mean it literally. About us being kings.
But not everyone could have been a king, because that does defeat the point of what a king is. That means if everyone's a king, everyone's equal. Well, that's more like day one Pol Pot stuff, year zero Pol Pot stuff.
Oh yeah,
which is more communist. And that didn't end well either. So it can't have been.
So that's your number one problem, that they're trying to uplift black men and women by calling us kings and queens. I hate it when they do that. Yeah. Okay.
That's not my issue. That's not my main issue. But it's just
that motivation.
It's just a little bit actually, I think you're fine. You know what I mean?
It's a little young boy being told that he's royalty, and you're like, no. You were a pauper back then.
I wouldn't say pauper, but I'd say
Maybe a jester.
Maybe a jester.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon you'd have been a king?
I don't think I've been a very good king. I don't like to, I like people to just do their thing.
So your way you'd have been a king is you lot just crack on.
Just do, that's me.
All right, so I'll be a subject coming to talk to you about what's going on in the lands.
Mm-hmm.
And you.
Okay, let's role play that.
Okay. The harvest this year, it's not looking plentiful, my lord. I don't know if this is how they would have
You
spoke back
said
then.
my lord quite sarcastically. I didn't. I would have picked up on that as a king, actually.
So you wouldn't have been a very chill king at all, would have you?
I mean, I'm about chill about the day-to-day stuff, but dress me
Okay.
properly.
My liege.
That's better.
The harvest this year, it is not looking as plentiful as we hoped in the
That's
many lands
crazy.
of-
That's crazy.
of Nigeria. I don't know why I speak like that.
Yeah. Okay. King of Nigeria.
King of Nigeria.
Man. Yeah. Man. I guess some people ain't gonna be eating, but if I'm eating, we all good. You know what I mean? Everyone's good. I don't know why I'm doing Brooklyn, Jay-Z, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Rockers in the building. The
What's
crops
Brooklyn,
are plentiful.
my liege? It sounds great. Do you reckon we'll all get to go one day?
Nah. Only the Rock. Only those in the Rock with a Rockefeller chain can go to Brooklyn. But I'm not. I wouldn't be a very good king. I wouldn't be.
You just said you'd be really chill and let people get on, and the main thing you did was like, they're all going to get a starve, but I get to eat.
Yeah, 'cause that's why I'm chill, because I've eaten. Chill doesn't mean nice. You can be chill and watch horrible catastrophes happen on your watch. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, what's that guy's name? Stalin. He was pretty chill.
He was famously not chill.
No, but like just in demeanor, he was very paranoid in action, but in demeanor he was like a meditation hero.
Sorry, have you hung out with him?
No, I'm just saying, like from the videos I've seen, he just seems like a calm, it's like a chill guy.
Seems like a laugh.
No, see, that's you're adding words. Calm, chill is still, kill more people than anybody else on the planet. No, that was
Mao.
no.
German Mao.
No, what's the barbarian guy?
Oh, Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
But this is. Do you know what I find mental, right? And this is gonna like probably. I got to be careful with how I word this. Yeah. So, say we would do a podcast, right, and we would call it like, or you were to run a comedy night or something. I don't know, and you could call it like Khan comedy night. I don't know, have like a Genghis Khan picture.
Yeah.
And totally fine, absolutely fine, because enough time has passed, or maybe people don't know enough about his crimes. He once took over a city, made all the men come out and surrender,
Yeah.
murdered all the soldiers, like who were unarmed, in front of the entire city. So like in front of their wives, their kids, murdered them all. Went into the city, sacked it, raped everyone, killed them all. Then diverted a river through the city, so no one knows quite where that city is. Completely destroyed it. Right. Horrendous,
But famously chill guy.
but famously chill guy. But then you're allowed to like have a picture. If I was to wear a shirt with a picture of Genghis Khan on it, nobody would bat an eyelid.
Right.
So how long has to pass from a horrific crime for us to kind of deem it like pop culture worthy? Do you know what I mean? Like I couldn't wear a shirt with a picture of Hitler on it.
No.
Because his crime,
As much as you want to. You
as
can't.
much as I want to, his crime, I could wear it in the house.
Yeah.
Like if I was going to the shop, I'd have to put like a jumper on. But then his crime is too recent
Yeah.
for us to
Make jest.
I think you can make jest about it. I think you can make jest about it.
But to wear ironically on a hipster t-shirt, we're not there yet.
Not even ironically. Like you wouldn't wear a Genghis Khan shirt ironically. Like Genghis Khan would be. I'm saying his name like I know him. Genghis Khan would be. Nobody would bat an eyelid.
How many Genghis Khan t-shirts and Genghis Khan themed nights are you seeing? for this
No,
to be
I know it's a bad. I know these are bad examples, yeah. But say you were to open up a Mongolian restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And call it Genghis Khan's Mongolian food.
Right. That's the name of the...
That's the name of the place. You'd go, that's a bad name. But you'd be
Yeah.
like, that's a bad name. But you wouldn't be like, that's a bad name because he killed a load of people. You'd be like, that's a very uncreative. There's probably a more creative way to call that. But say you were to open up like an Austrian or a German restaurant,
Yeah.
and call it Hitler's Diner.
Hitler's dying.
Hitler's Diner. Everyone would be like, whoa, dude, you can't call the place Hitler's.
These names are making me think that these are who's cooking the food and these are who own the restaurants. Like Hitler and Genghis Khan own these diners.
They don't own them, but you're just saying like, oh yeah, remember, like,
remember
that these people come from here, eat here.
Right. German diner.
There's quite a lot of Genghis Khan t-shirts.
There's quite a lot of Genghis Khan t-shirts.
How many? I Google Hitler t-shirts, and I bet it'll take you onto some gnarly website.
Well, I just put in Genghis Khan merch. and only T-shirts come up. So what do you want? Hitler
Well,
T-shirts
yeah.
or Hitler merch?
Hitler merch, but we'll probably be on like we'll probably end up on some website that's like being run in the deep south somewhere. in
Oh
America.
no, there's also Hitler T-shirts.
Of course,
It's
because if you
also
type in a
Hitler
name and put T-shirt after it, you can type in Robert Mugabe T-shirt. You're gonna get Robert Mugabe gear. I've done it. I can get that.
I don't know. I feel like you could wear a Robert Mugabe T-shirt.
Yeah, because most people don't really know who Robert Mugabe is.
Yeah, Robert
Or
Mugabe.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, but Robert Mugabe would. No, most people know Genghis Khan.
They don't know the extent of his crime.
Okay, sorry. You could make a TV series like there is Marco Polo. That's not about Genghis Khan, but about like the Khan dynasty. Sort of being like, look how I've not really watched the series, but you could make a series like, look at how great a warrior Genghis Khan was. Look at how amazing it is that he nearly he conquered so much of the world. Look, it's incredible, right? You couldn't make a TV series from the point of view of Hitler going, look how amazing it is. He managed to take over the Rhine really quickly. Oh, look at him. Here he is annexing Czechoslovakia, and it's like making him out to look cool and stuff.
It's too raw.
It's too like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Genghis Khan was famously a very curious person. Like, he used to like save the doctors and like the artists, and he wouldn't kill them, and then he would take them to the next town, and then just like build new towns based on all the knowledge he'd acquired from all the people. He was always learning.
But we did that with Operation Paperclip.
Who's when you say we, you mean the British?
Yeah.
Don't say we. I'm not involved in that.
Don't say, come on, man.
What do you mean?
You're British.
No, I'm not part of the military. What do you mean we?
Yeah, I'm saying we as in like Britain.
What, like in 1945?
Yeah.
I say we. I wasn't
Well,
there.
more America, but we, like the West, the Allies.
I wasn't there. I say we. Are you? How do you mean?
Like we, as in we were in Britain. We
Just
did.
say Britain in 1945.
All right, America.
Say we.
In 1945.
We. I wasn't there.
Oh, I've never. But you stop trying to, because you don't know where the story's going, so you're trying to disassociate.
No, I'm just saying. Well, first of all, there is that. You know, it just could be some. And we bombed Kenya, and then we went. I don't know where that story's going, so I'm also saying I don't know we. But also, just yeah.
You don't, and that's a good point. You don't want us to take blame, take credit
Right.
for things we weren't part of.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So when you say that, like my ancestors
Oh.
did stuff.
Well,
I wasn't part of it, was I?
Well, that's different.
How's that different?
Well, you still like you benefit off what your ancestors did. The steals. You stole steel from the blacks. That's where your name comes from. You know that, right? I've seen your house just full of steel that you stole. Elliot steals.
Elliot steals from the blacks.
Elliot steals from the blacks. It's the history of your name. So it's not the same as Operation Papercut, or the fuck you said. I don't know.
Imagine it turned out, you know, like when you meet someone called Smith, so the reason like Smith is a popular surname is because they were the blacksmiths, so they didn't get sent to war, so that's why you find like loads of like Smiths in the UK. Imagine I found out the reason my name was Steele is because we were so good at colonialism.
Just stole. Oh man, they really be stealing. They the steals. Stole land.
Oh man, I would be so pissed off because I'd look back and be like, where did it all go? Who lost it? Which one of my ancestors?
That'd be so funny if you went on Who Do You Think You Are and they told you your family were former slave owners and you're like, well, where they I go? Where'd it go then?
Dude, do you know what I always say about like my level of white privilege? Is like I've just missed out on the golden years. Like I just missed out, and like it's still good, but it's not. It's not like. Do you know what I mean?
The white don't hit like it used to.
No. It's like you hear stories about it. Like if I was white back in the 1970s, I'd be like a CEO of a company. I'm able to smoke indoors.
Yeah.
I could walk into a room.
Everyone turns.
Yeah, I could see Sandra and be like, "Hey, Sandra, take your jacket off and let the puppies breathe." And like, I'm handed a scotch for doing it. Like I'm allowed. You're allowed to do that as a white guy back then. And now it's just kind of like I can ask the police for directions.
Yeah. It's a downgrade. I mean, where will it go to? You know.
Oh, I think the West is in decline. Like we're about to pay heavy.
Do you think the white this is as low as the whites? Go. We'll go.
The thing with the whites is what you got to remember is like the posh aristocracy whites. They're fine. Like white is the whites are always thrown in as like the whites.
Yeah.
But the thing that's stupid about the whites is that poor working class, like not even working class, like because working class is just used as a word to like describe like poor people who are given like right-wing media from the rich whites are then told to hate like that person in a dinghy over there is coming to take your way of life. You must hate them. But that's just used as a divider for white people. That that's just used as like to make. See, we're in common because we're white, and you could one day be Rupert Murdoch if you really worked hard. That's like always like a thing given to like white people where we're like, so
you're told to, hey, you could be Rupert Murdoch. Is that what every white person is told? I didn't know.
Yeah, basically it's like it's like the American dream, innit, or something like that.
Yeah,
you could, if you just knuckle down and work hard, you can be a multi-millionaire. You can own a house. You could be white. You live in a nice neighborhood. You got and when they say like, hey, like when you see people who like fetishize the 50s. Like if you see them do this on Twitter, where it's like, oh, I wish we could just go back in the day where me and my neighbors would have a barbecue and it'd be great. And what they really mean is like, I wish my neighborhood was just white. Right, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've got that fetishization going on. So like white people, like when it's like the whites, it's like we're not just one, I don't know how to describe it. Like I think in the UK it's more class driven. Whereas in America it is far more racial. Whenever you've been in America. Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. And you see like how, like, I didn't realize how like the divider on race over there was kind of, whereas here it's class. Yeah. I like it's more, in America it's like you've got, here's the black neighborhood, here's the white neighborhood. Whereas here it's like, here's the working class, like sort of, or like here's a council estate and then here's a load of £1 million houses in like even in somewhere like Brixton.
So basically when I asked, will it get worse for the whites? What I was trying to say, will white people be slaves one day? That's what I meant.
That ain't happening.
That's all I meant one day.
That ain't happening.
You don't think so?
You want?
I think, if anything, there's more of sort of like liberal white people actively going into slavery to sort of like, this is like us appeasing what went wrong.
They do fuck it up, the liberal whites,
They're the ones everyone's fucking it up.
But those whites are the most annoying. Like when I say liberal whites, I mean like I take it you mean like, oh my God, I went to Goldsmiths and basically I learned so much about the world. So like I come from this like place in Guildford. Yeah. And then I came here and then I learned that some people were treated badly and it's awful. And then they like you notice it at comedy clubs a lot. I've noticed it at comedy clubs where a white audience will overcompensate the laughter sometimes.
Are you saying they don't find my jokes funny?
I think they find your jokes very funny. you I do not hold in. It's week 2. Let's get into it. I think you're fine. Yeah. You don't do a joke that goes, people ask me, where are you really from?
Oh right,
you know that joke topic. That's like airline food. Yeah, like but for like fame. Airline food. Bit.
We claim that. Yeah,
I've seen that joke done like 3-4 times on the same night.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like, where are you from? Where are you really from?
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, yeah, we actually want to know. I'm very curious.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna like. It depends how you ask that question. Isn't it? Like, oh, where are you really from? Or like, where are you really from?
It depends on the intonation and the finger pointing.
Yeah. But I don't think white people are going to be slaves anytime soon, bro.
No?
If we are going to be slaves, it's not going to be for black people, bro. It's going to be for the Chinese.
Ah, yeah.
Which
could be soon.
Could be soon, but I don't think you're going to get away with
unless
white people.
White people start making other white people slaves, which happened in the past.
Did it?
Probably. I wouldn't put it past you guys.
This has turned into BTEC history.
I mean, it's just a vast variety of topics, and we need to know whether you forgave this guy you saw with the bins.
I think I'm going to forgive him.
When you say, like, because he doesn't remember this event at all.
No, I imagine he's done a lot of wrong in his life.
Yeah. There's been other priorities in the past 11 years for him.
His dog died.
His dog probably is dead.
Yeah.
And then that was probably back in the time where they collect bins twice a week. Now he's down to one a week.
Yeah.
And like kids now, they carry knives. They carried them back then, but it's very hard to like speak shit to a kid because they might take it out on you.
I think I'm just gonna go. The way I always put this down about people like that is they've got to spend their whole life being like that if they don't do the work on themselves. And that's just going to be such a sad little, like, do you know what I mean? Like, did you ever know anyone growing up who was like, just so like involved in like, oh yeah, bruv, like, you see if they come from over there, yeah, you know, all of that like dumb sort of young South London, London aggression. Like, I always used to think that's just so like stupid.
Yeah.
Like you're going to spend your whole life like hating someone from like 4 roads down from you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess back then your postcode is your world, and like it's kind of sad when you see them all growing up and they haven't left their postcode.
Yeah, I haven't left mine.
Yeah, well, yeah. But you have plans to, so it's going to be sad later, but not sad now.
Do you?
Sad when you don't realize.
Did you ever get involved with any of that stuff?
Well,
Like,
with putting people in.
no, just
bins.
like no. Did you?
No,
I couldn't imagine you. I couldn't imagine you at school. Or what was your school like?
my school was it was fine. It just kind of was hanging by a thread, and then it just kind of descended into badness once we left. We were the last good batch.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this in Romford?
Yeah,
Ilford.
Chadwell Heath. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Romford?
Kinda.
Right.
Like in a little, like 5 minutes between them. But no, I was just a good boy. I didn't really get into trouble. Wasn't putting no kids in bins.
Yeah.
I was taking kids out of bins.
Yeah.
That was my whole.
Metaphorically raising people up, giving speeches and.
I mean, in the literal sense, metaphorically, I just tried to be a ray of sunshine, so I wouldn't be like a trauma to a grown man 11 years later, and he has to really tell it on the pod.
Yeah.
You still caught up by this? You still in pain?
No, I just like the bit of my ego that when it takes a hit like that is like just go down. He's got like a little divot into his drive, and sometimes he's sat there. Just go down there and put your fucking foot through his face, like you know what I mean, like.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Like that sort of like just go down, like like in that fantasy where you're John Wick.
Yeah.
Right, his dog's already dead.
Right, 11 years done.
I played the long game with the dog.
Probably died in a dogfight.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like I play, Michael Vick, who seems to be a reoccurring guest on this.
Yeah.
I'd love to get Michael Vick on this, if that'd be our first guest.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Just not ask him about it. Just ask him questions about the NFL.
No, I would ask him the specifics about setting up a dogfighting ring. I want to know
Like the
minute
admin.
detail. Yeah, oh my gosh.
like people really don't. The Excel sheet that you have to fill in is actually the hardest part. People think it's putting dogs down, but
Yeah.
it's really that's really easy.
I mean, like, yeah, how many liters is it to drown a dog in a bucket?
I don't think it has to be much.
Probably not. But how many buckets you have to buy? Or just
Yeah, you just use one
how do you
bucket.
dispose of them?
Recycle, innit?
Yeah. So yeah, but we can ask him if he regrets it.
I think he probably regrets it. He probably regrets being found out.
Right.
But I imagine his answer for that was just like, as it was at the time, which was just kind of like, I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Which wasn't a great defense.
Not when you get money. You don't be a millionaire just so you can extend your dogfighting ring. You took the wrong message.
Yeah, but he probably viewed it in a way of like, I can't wait for this to go mainstream one day. Like, I'm really, like people invest in like drone flying or like esports. He was
like-
probably like, I'm on the ground level with this business opportunity.
Like Elon Musk, just like, if I just keep plugging along, everyone will understand. This is the future.
So if I could forgive this guy as I do, which is in a way of like, you've got to spend your whole life being like that. If I go down there and
I mean, he could be a completely fine, well-adjusted human being.
he could be, I'm not going to strike up conversation with him. Because I think that's I think people confuse forgiveness as like being friends with somebody, and like I think forgiveness is really going like, I'm at peace with what happened. I don't like that it happened, but the other person that did it, they've got something going on in their lives that makes them behave that way, and I guess that's part of the human experience. Is it's these interactions with each other.
And it's just that.
Is there an earthquake? Sorry.
No, it's just someone at the bottom of the container.
Oh, okay, right.
I thought it was a washing machine.
Fair enough. I thought it was an earthquake. I was going to take the piss out of you, but that famous tectonic plate going through Vauxhall. Washing machines were way more feasible.
Yeah, that was. You went wild.
But But yeah, but on saying that, so let me just take the time. There we go, because we spent a lot of time on this subject.
Mix of subjects. Yeah.
But so you go to Belgium.
What is this? What are we doing? What's going on here? It's been 40 minutes, man. We've
been 40 minutes, and I've spoke about a trauma in my childhood. We spoke about race. We covered a lot of subjects.
You love to talk about race, Elliot.
You don't throw it back. You made it racial.
To talk about race.
I find it interesting.
You love to talk about race just from the white man's perspective.
I don't think there's enough people doing it who aren't
just talking about race.
Massive racists.
Right. Well, the jury's out.
That's the problem with that's the problem with every white person who starts speaking about race. Is it starts off with like, and what we need to do is go down there and get it. And it's like, whoa, dude, you're not the guy.
Love it.
You know what I mean? That's the problem with white. Stop throwing. Oh, you love to talk about race to get me going on a tangent about me. You went to Belgium.
As many British people have done, you know.
Oh, so now, all of a sudden, when it's Operation Paperclip, you're not British. When you need it, because you went to Belgium for a girl.
Many people have used their passports to travel across the globe, and I use mine.
It's not really across the globe, is it? It's like just one country over.
Is it one? Is it one or two? I'm just a
bit of probably 50 miles of sea.
Is it really?
No, not far.
Let's talk about the history of
Belgium.
Traveling to Belgium.
The history of Belgium is arguably worse than the history of Britain.
Oh yeah, because they got King Leopold. Yeah. Used to chop off.
Don't bring up colonialism and try to get out of. Don't say I was going over there.
I'm providing a voice to the handless people who had their hands chopped off by King Leopold.
I should be laughing.
You are laughing. That's horrible.
I'm laughing because of your way. You accuse me of wanting to talk about race, and all of a sudden you're using colonialism to get out of talking about it.
And you know what King Leopold was collecting? He was collecting rubber. Really? I don't use rubbers. No more.
You didn't when you went to Belgium.
hey, what? No, I didn't have to. I didn't have to because nothing happened in Belgium. No. You know, it's that's just like, you know, it's like you were saying last week about love. Sometimes you got to take a chance. You got to send a text or do what I do. You got to travel, and then it don't work out, and then you come out stronger.
But how did you end up going to Belgium?
Why are we talking about the specifics?
I think the audience want to know. If I was a listener, I'd want to know.
I don't think the audience needs to know me like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, in time. That's for the Patreon.
When we set up Patreon, Mike will tell you the
we'll set up for a Valentine's special next year if we're still working together.
It's not going to last that long.
I don't think so. But, you know, by then I'll tell my story. I don't like being put on blast right now.
I don't think it's being put on blast. I think it's very endearing.
No. Michael don't do love.
Not no more. Like Michael tried to.
Not no more. Since Brussels. That's the capital.
There we go.
Yeah, I knew it.
You sat there all along. You played the part of the idiot.
Yeah, and then boom. I know my shit. You never traveled for a woman?
Probably have, but not to another country.
Because they didn't live there. Or you...
Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't just turn up in the other country and go, "Are you here?" And they were like, "Yeah, why have you gone to Spain?" I'm like, I'm just taking a punt on one of where you live.
Yeah.
No, I've never travelled to another country for a girl.
But you would.
I probably, like, I guess anyone's capable of it.
Yeah. If they have the
right don't try to say that we're the same because you've done it and I might one day do it.
That's the same thing.
That's not how. No, it isn't. That's not how life works. You can't go to someone like, well, you're going to jail for murder. Would you ever kill someone? Well, I guess everyone's capable of it. Well, you go to jail as well. Like, that's not how it works.
I'm just saying, I don't think what I did was weird.
I'm not saying it was weird. It's more sad.
How spontaneous was the trip? Was it planned in a while before?
It was like maybe a week or two planning, and then just bing bang. I'm out there, bing bang, see the sights. I'm saying bing bang, but you know, just hang out.
Bing bang. Did she invite you, or did you come on your own accord?
No. This was a consensual. I entered Belgium legally, see this.
Because I know you went smuggled in on the back of a crate.
No, yeah, I came in.
into the Schengen zone at the time, which you could have perfectly ended.
It wasn't love bombing, which I've read is when somebody shows excessive amounts of affection
Right.
as a sign of a red flag.
Is that going to be like the new gaslighting thing that people are going to use?
Oh, it's here. It's here.
Oh, okay. Because that's like with gaslighting, where it's like, I disagree with you. Well, you're a gaslighter. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't, because I respect women. When you sent that girl that text last week and she didn't respond, that was love bombing.
No, it wasn't, Michael.
Yes,
it was sending someone.
I didn't want to say it at the time, but it's problematic that you sent that text, and then you spoke about it on the podcast like a I don't know the word.
Blasé.
Like a blasé person.
I was trying to create content.
Wow. Doesn't she live around here? She lives local.
Out of a broken
Michael,
heart.
well, yeah, she does live round here. Yeah.
Wow. So this podcast was made under pretense.
Yeah, we're gonna go put a brick through our window after. In fact, that's gonna be on the Patreon. You can actually come with us and get your name on one of the bricks that will go through.
We'll write text on each brick, personalized messages.
What's your little? We've only got a little bit of time left. But what's your little moral dilemma that you were gonna bring up this?
Well, it actually kind of relates to respecting women, as you know I like to do.
Yeah.
That's what famously people say, but Michael, he's funny, respects women.
I think you can say any guy who opens a conversation with "I famously respect women" does not respect women.
Michael,
You're gonna turn up with an "This is what a feminist looks like" t-shirt.
Boom, because it does. Well, you know, I've been thinking about the whole idea of paying for pornographic content.
Mm.
Is this the last stage of feminism? I need to be the perfect man. If I start, supporting sex workers the same way I do support my musical artists, but I don't really support my musical artists. But maybe I should start supporting porn. Is that more ethical? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, so you're saying like you want to buy ethical porn?
Oh,
Or you want to buy?
I didn't even thought about that. I just meant buying something.
Oh, ethical porn's like a thing.
That doesn't sound like sexy though.
It's not, bro.
Like I can picture lots of dirty feet. They don't do as much showering as they do in regular porn. Less
What?
oil.
What do you think ethical porn is?
I don't know. I'm just picturing grass, like lots of countrysides.
That's what you think of when you hear ethical, like grass-fed porn.
They just
free-range porn stars.
They just fuck
Oh,
on,
they're out in the
on
field.
grain. Just different types of grain you can pay for.
It's just something about that battery porn where there's been
Wheat, brown rice.
There's something else to it though. It's like the meat industry. Something had to suffer to get me going. I know I should be vegan. I know I should, but I just can't. I think you got to put.
What's ethical porn? What is that?
It's like Leo and Lulu and things like that.
Those are, you know people's names?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I don't watch porn.
Oh, what? Why?
Yeah.
Since when?
Just since like a long time. I just can't.
What happened?
It's too fake. It's not that porn ruined sex for me. Sex ruined porn. Like once I started having sex, I was like, that's not what that is.
I wouldn't do it like that.
I grew up as part of the first, our generation, pornography generation.
No, I think porn existed before our generation.
No, but like the accessibility, like the same way every like 40-year-old comic has a bit going, if you wanted to see porn back when we were growing up, you had to find it in the woods. And that was
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our generation was like the first. I remember when I first got a laptop, I plugged it into the computer. The first thing I Googled was Playboy, because that's where I thought porn was.
Do you remember your
Thing,
first?
that and a video of Steve Irwin dying.
2006. My first day of school.
And then
What a way to finish.
you said that like they had an assembly.
No, I just remember the end of the first day of school, I went to newsagents, saw the paper, Steve Irwin killed by a stingray. And I was just like, it's a bad sign.
Right, you see that video of that guy getting eaten by a shark?
No, it's a video.
Yeah, but it's fucking gnarly.
Really?
And it's in Australia.
When you say gnarly, how do you mean?
I mean, you see a guy get eaten by a shark.
Oh, really? How did he film it?
He didn't film it. The shark filmed it and then uploaded it to LiveLeak. No, it was there was like these fishermen on the line, but the guys the reason I bring it up here is because it's Australian. So like the guys watching it get eaten are so Australian. We're like, oh no, it's a great white. Crikey! Like that's literally
That's the extent of their.
Oh no, that's literally
The enthusiasm doesn't raise above that.
But it was an ethical eating by a shark,
How so?
and everyone got paid.
Right. I think it's not been a week yet, Elliot. I mean, there's a statute of limitations talking about shark deaths.
Did you know? Not anymore.
Let them find all the pieces before.
Anthony Jeselnik, had this thing on his TV show where they had, when a guy got eaten by a shark, they were going to have a big celebration. And so some guy from New Zealand got eaten by a shark, and he had like strippers come on with shark heads and give him a lap dance. And then like he got like the whole country of New Zealand sending him death threats.
They're such a calm people. You have to
so
really round
sound.
them up.
So your thing is like you think you should start paying for porn and supporting the artist.
I don't want to. I don't watch porn that much, but I'm thinking when I do it, should I do it the right way? If I want to be a better man.
But is that to you what makes you a better man? Whatever happened to making art for the love of making art?
This is so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do this. We ain't getting paid. We're paying to do it. We do this because we like doing it.
This podcast.
This podcast.
Yeah, but after a certain level of like, for example, doing comedy, you do comedy for free, and then you want to start getting paid for your work.
Yeah, well, maybe you should watch the up-and-coming artists.
Just watch the amateurs.
Yeah, watch the amateurs, getting at the grassroots level.
And I'll leave like constructive comments.
Yeah. That's not weird or creepy at all. I think that's actually very helpful.
Because then I'm like, these are ways you can level up your game. Do you know what I mean? It's like giving...
Yeah, with that though, is there not a level, is like when you're starting out in comedy, you don't want the audience to give you feedback of what you should be doing.
Right.
When someone comes up and goes like, oh, do you know what would be funny with that bit? It's a few, and then they tell you the most horrific thing you're ever going to hear.
Yeah. All right, cool.
So
I
just
just
start
support
watching
them
amateur.
silently.
Yeah, that sounds weird. Don't say that just sounds weird when you're talking about porn. I don't think you can use too many words talk about your porn watching without it sounding weird. It's a weird subject.
It is a weird subject. What's the creepiest way you've ever watched porn?
I don't know. Nothing springs to mind. What's the creepiest way you've ever watched porn?
Have you ever
Probably in the bathroom of that girl in Belgium because she wouldn't get with you.
Really funny. Love it. Love this content. This episode ain't going out. It's not going out. This is episode 1 still. Episode 1 extras.
We just put out episode 1 again.
Just put it out again. This time it's on Spotify. We will be on Spotify.
We're working on that. We're doing well. Thank you, David. We got quite a few downloads.
I'm talking to the CEO of Spotify at the moment, Daniel Spotify, and he said it stays away from us being on there. So yeah, and on YouTube too. I'm speaking to YouTube at the moment, and then it'll get us on there soon.
Who are you speaking to at YouTube?
Mr. YouTube, Mr.
Okay, that's good.
Daniel
Thank
YouTube.
God. Daniel. Everyone's called Daniel in your world.
I mean, it's a common name, Christian name. So Daniel. So I'm speaking to them. We're gonna get the pods up on there.
Sweet.
So we got a decent amount of plays.
We got a decent amount of players. What time is it, bro? Let's work out if we got a little bit left to do this. We got.
That's person.
Oh my God.
We have 7 minutes left.
Do we have 7 minutes?
Yeah, about.
Okay, cool. So you said you weren't like British. Or
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We never. Okay.
So like, I don't, this isn't even a race thing or anything
Okay.
like that. Yeah. It's really sad that after I prefaced that with this, that's what this podcast become.
Okay.
Already 2 weeks in.
We're gonna talk about Queen.
No, do you know what? Yeah, like, would you fight
The Queen.
the Russians? So say you got the draft letter through, yeah? I'm 25, you're 26. Both fit and able-bodied men. Would you go out there, draft letter comes through, Mr. Michael Adewale?
Well, draft means that you don't have a choice. So I guess the question is, would you go into hiding?
So would you like conscientiously object?
Well, because I'm a pacifist. I pay for porn. You know what I mean? I believe in peace and love. So I don't think I could fight. Also, it's not my war in it. Ukraine. There's no, I feel like it's just kind of your.
Well, was that my place?
You know what I mean? Just in terms of like, it feels like a very football hooligan type atmosphere of war.
Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of like.
That's why I don't want to fight the Russians, Have you seen the videos of their football hooligans fighting?
They do it
Like,
different.
Madness.
Yeah.
It's like 20 on 20. Like everyone's like a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
Versus Dave from Stockport.
Yeah, that's Fat Terry, who, in martial arts, he can launch a deck chair at a French family. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't think our generation is fit to fight. I don't think they would call in us. I think that's why they're like focusing so much on drones and stuff. They know we don't have the spirit.
Yeah, we're too participation trophy.
The TikToks on the front line will be amazing. Though.
Oh, but could you imagine us dancing as
The
like
dance
there's gunfire?
That would be amazing. And then that would be like our version of like the football game with us and the Germans, just doing like joint TikToks together for one day.
It's already happening, isn't it?
Is it really?
Russian military have got TikToks. They're on TikTok at the moment.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're really winning the battle for hearts and minds with that.
I think they were inspired by the comeback of the Taliban and how well they did on social media.
Oh, the Taliban killed social media.
They won hearts.
They did. Say what you like about the Taliban. Great content makers.
I mean that's it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they had PR.
ISIS definitely did.
Yeah.
As in, like, their videos, like, usually, like with a terrorist video, it'd be, like, all grainy. ISIS spent the money on production. They went for it. They got some people over who knew how to edit. They went all, like, that was, like, a big part of what they did.
But their content wasn't friendly enough.
It wasn't ethical, no.
No, I mean, there was a lot of head chopping, but, what do you do in your downtime? We never really got to see the behind the scenes. And I think that's the difference between them and the Taliban.
There was a lot of behind the scenes with ISIS, but it was all kind of lies. That's why, like, that's why you have those ISIS brides, like, who went over there to
Shamima.
Burgum, yeah, she went over there.
No, she's just like one name now. That's how big she is. Shamima.
She is, yeah. Do you know what? Give it 10 years, bruv. She'll be hosting a TV show.
You reckon?
Yeah. She's got like, do you know what I mean?
I'd be a panelist.
Yeah, would you imagine you did the show? Hi, I'm Shamima Burgum.
I'm Michael Odewale.
And today, we're going to help Philip and Andy find a house in the countryside.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I would love to host Homes Under the Hammer.
With Shamima Burgum.
Yeah.
You're she's just there. Oh, this is a great living area. And everyone's like, well, where do I know her from? Was she in Corrie? No. Oh no, she was the ISIS bride. We're actually looking it up on your phone. Oh yeah, no, from somewhere. She, do you know what my thing with that was like? You see, when everyone was like, she was groomed. I was like, yeah, but like, she's 15. She didn't know what she was doing. They're like, yeah, but like there's I drank a bit of vodka, I threw up. Dad, can you come pick me up?
Yeah.
And then I joined an Islamic death cult.
Yeah.
And wanted to death to the West.
We all make mistakes.
Maybe she needs forgiveness. Maybe maybe the people of Britain should forgive her.
I'd
forgive her before I forgive that guy who put me in a bin.
Right.
I think she's I think there's a good redemption arc with her there.
Yeah, definitely a good movie.
She could have like the redemption narrative, and she has to do something to redeem
We should invite her on. Can you imagine? Let's get Shimon Begum and the other guy, the dog killer,
Michael Vick. I think we got to have them in separate episodes.
No, I mean,
can't have them both here. They're gonna talk over each other.
Two different worlds. Just seeing them collide. Wouldn't it be funny if she was like really disgusted that he killed dogs and like she could? You did what? You're a terrible.
You're a terrorist. Yeah, but like we didn't kill dogs. I mean, we killed the dogs of the West, but the Western dogs. But we didn't.
Dogs?
The dogs. I don't think I'd fight in a war for Ukraine.
Ukraine.
For over Ukraine. No offense to the Ukrainian people.
It's hard to care about.
I wouldn't fight. I mean, Russia could invade here, rather if they just let me go on about my day. I wouldn't really give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
I have no real affiliation with being British.
Well, how comes when I say it, it's code flag, red flag. Well, you're allowed to say you don't associate with being British.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
I think I have better reasons to disassociate with the throne than you do.
Yeah, I like being British. Do you know what I like about being? Do you know what I consider being British? Yeah, anyone can be like anyone can be part of it. It's just like it's just no one does their fucking job.
Yeah.
Just understand that no one's gonna do what they're meant to be doing, and just have a laugh. That's it, really, isn't it?
That's being British.
That's just being British. It's just like, yeah, you know, and that's it. Just a shrug of the shoulders, and what are you gonna do? And then you have a pint. That is kind of it.
Why the country's failing?
Oh, massively.
It used to build things, you know.
Yeah, it's a collision course of catastrophe. Like we're an empire that's lost its empire, and we haven't dealt with it, and that's why we have all this cynicism and like this grab for like this idea that we're great. That's why people love the Queen, isn't it? That's how I'd solve Ukraine. You know, I'll tell Vladimir Putin the Queen wants to meet him and have a word. No one can turn down the Queen.
This is true.
And then because she's got COVID and she's on her way out, I'd strap some C4 to her, and then
that's a good twist.
And then let her go meet Putin.
I would say that would probably escalate.
No. It's like chess, innit? Sometimes you got to sacrifice your queen.
Right. Were you holding on to that?
Yeah.
Pun.
No, it's not a pun. That's not a pun. That's a strategic move.
It's in the pun family.
Imagine the Queen's last words were Allah Akbar.
So what
was Her Majesty's last words? Sorry, what? Right, okay. Yeah, well, I didn't have that on my 2022 bingo card.
So what have we done? What have we done today? We have you have bin problems. You have bin forgiveness issues.
I have forgiveness issues that I think I'm working over. You have Belgium issues.
Ethical issues.
Ethical issues with pornography.
Well, just about paying for content.
Yeah, but okay, it's like I think
if I enjoy a certain person's content, you wouldn't steal a car.
I would if I could get away with it and knew how to do it.
Right.
Actually, ethically, I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't steal from somebody.
Nice.
It would upset me. I could steal from them if you knew they were like, I don't know, sort of if there was like a Robin Hood thing involved, but there never is with that stuff. It's always like some single mum or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just fucks up a day.
Yeah. Well, all kinds of cars. You got to steal the higher, not steal a Vauxhall Corsa, still a BMW, man. Aim high.
You can get shit BMWs as well, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say like a Rolls Royce.
I wouldn't steal a Rolls Royce.
No,
There's
too
a
obvious.
higher chance of getting caught with anything.
Yeah. Let's work this out. Let's spitball it on the pod.
Yeah.
What we're going to rob off people. No, I think we covered a lot of subjects. I'm really regretting this. We're not going to edit the podcast vibe we've taken on week 2. I don't know what clips we're going to be able to put out for this week. Here's Elliot talking about how the Queen should commit jihad for the UK, and also tripping up on trying not to be racist at several points. And Mike
being blindsided by a topic that he didn't want to talk about on the pod. In case she's listening, which she's not, but in case she is.
No, and then you started referring to porn stars as like saying you saw fields and things like that.
I'm saying I thought ethical porn was out in the nature.
No, bro. What the fuck? Why would they, so you just think ethical porn is like outdoors?
Yeah, it's like just within
like hippies and shit.
Why else would they call it that?
Because it's ethical. It means like nobody, like with most porn, it's like because the porn industry like is so unregulated. It's so it's like things like Pornhub they're actually really bad organisations.
Oh,
They've just got a really good.
No way.
Yeah. I know, who would have guessed. They and like they have really real issues with people being like, hey, I didn't consent to this video being put up, and Pornhub not taking it down and things like that.
Oh, wow.
So ethical porn is like the people in this video you are subscribing to and paying it, and they like, so with Leo and Lulu, they're a couple who make porn. So there's a lot more. It's like, there's a huge level of consent involved. Whereas with other kind of porn, especially when you see what is the most popular categories of porn, it's actually quite worrying. And that's why you've got a generation of people growing up who think sex is like everyone getting bukagied. Which it can be. But
okay. So ethical porn can or cannot be in a garden.
yeah, bro, it's not people shagging in a field.
But if they wanted to,
If they wanted, they could do it.
Essentially, they can do that.
Yeah, but they'd probably have to have like some sort of, they'd probably have to own the field.
Right.
I don't think you can just banging any man's field. You know what I mean? Like then it would not be
now.
difficult.
I could be watching consensual porn in a garden, but now I'm worrying about.
Wait, you're
the
watching a
property
porn
laws.
in the garden? What was the most disgusting way you've ever watched porn?
Just like, have you ever stood outside the room? So you're just like,
Can we have 5 more minutes of the podcast? Please? Sorry, we're going to run over to that. You did what?
you ever stood outside the room and just kind of watched it on the laptop outside the room?
No.
Neither have I then.
Whose room? Someone else's room?
My room.
Is your mum in the house?
No, but I'm saying that could be the creepiest way to watch porn.
Don't say that. Don't say that
Hypothetically.
you've hypothetically come up with this, because there's way creepier ways you could come up with this. This is too specific.
This is
Far too specific. So you've put it on in your room,
porn's in the.
opened the door, stood on the other side of the door and watched it through a crack. A
This
bit like
is-
voyeurism,
Right, but
with
it's
your
legal.
laptop.
It's,
It is legal.
boom.
Yeah.
Case closed. Full stop.
That wasn't what we were asking.
End of pod.
This isn't a true crime. you.
No, I've never done that. but
Shut the fuck up. You've done that.
you know, there's probably a meta type of porn where you can watch people watching porn.
Yeah, there is.
Outside.
I just look. I don't watch porn. but I know
Every type of porn that can
it
exist.
exists.
Will
like
exist.
there's like weird, like those point of view cams and all of that. So you can feel like, wow, it's like I'm there. Do you know what I mean?
VR.
Yeah, my mate. The first thing guys are gonna do, and girls actually, like girls are just as weird as guys with the shit. Is people. Is once the minute he got a VR set, he got an Oculus Quest. He like went online and just like went on Pornhub with it. And there's like VR designed porn.
I mean, just the
And he's
amount of
like-
craft and
He was like, what's
Take it.
terrifying about it is you don't know if anyone's going to be watching you,
wow.
because you don't know if someone's going to walk in and you've just got a VR set on and you're just whacking away, and a person's going to like, imagine mum just comes in to do some laundry and you've no idea
Without
that she
me?
can see you,
Yeah.
so you you just carry on.
Mum, it's a new level in it. It's a new level in the game.
So you've watched through a crack in the door.
No, I've not done that.
Come on, Mike, you've done that, bro. Just admit.
No, I'm a normal, well-adjusted human. For the most part.
Who watches? Do you ever think like, we'll end on this, yeah, but do you know what show like I watch, yeah? That like me and Jamali during the Fringe used to sit down with each other and watch this show, world's biggest arts festival, and we'd watch Pedo Hunters.
Pedo Hunters on YouTube.
Bruv, have you seen Pedo Hunters?
I've seen a couple, yeah.
It's so awful.
There's so many pedos out there, man.
There's so many pedos out there. Do you know when it's really bad is when they're like, guys, no racism in the comments, please. That's when it's like, what am I watching? And people in the comments just being like, hang him, and then congratulating themselves for not being paedophiles, which is a base level of what you should do to be an upstanding citizen. Dirty nonce, take them like, oh, well done. Yeah, these people disgust me. Well done on not being a paedophile.
I mean, that's a community we should all aim to be part of. Non-pedophiles.
Yeah, like I watched the Silent Justice ones. There's been a couple there was a comedian who turned up on one. I shouldn't be talking about this, you know.
What is this?
Oh, I'll show you after the pod, innit? There was a comic who turned up on an episode of Pedo Hunt. Not as like a special guest. Like today, I'll be leading. That should be you and Shemima Burger show on BBC.
We can host Pedo Hunters.
You do host Pedo Hunters, BBC One, 9
Prime
o'clock.
time.
No, we'll do it post Watershed.
Yeah.
Bit of blue.
So we're on before the news.
On before the news. Hello, I'm Michael Wadawale. I'm Shemima Burger, and today we're going to be pedo hunting. And you're like,
Now I want that match of the day slot.
everyone complaining because the pedo from their area isn't on when they think it should be on. Oh, what? He caught three in Stevenage. How come we're like, this is favouritism to the
And
top
if you
six
look
pedos?
just there, if you replay. When he touched the kid, yeah, this is it.
You got to track back and delete the messages. I say this over and over again. You've got to track back and delete messages. And here he is, not deleting messages. And you just can't do that at this level. You're gonna be punished. It's fine to do that in the championship. Oh, that feels like a awful but lovely place.
I mean, that's a good place to wrap up.
You got anything to plug, bro?
No.
What about your show?
Oh yeah, fuck me.
me.
Oh man, March 1st. I'm hosting a comedy show at a restaurant called.
Don't tell it too hard.
I'm hosting a comedy show, and you can find the details on my Instagram. Elliot Still's going to be performing.
I'm going to be performing.
Kate Checker is going to be performing. Wonderful comic, and Junior Booker.
Brooker, bro.
Brooker. That's what I said.
You said Booker.
No, this is just. I said Brooker. And a very great comedy going to be closing. I'm going to be emceeing. It's going to be a really fun night, and it's in probably about 6 days' time, and we want you to come.
Where is it?
It's in London, somewhere.
It's in Farringdon, right?
And Farringdon,
yeah.
around there. But you can find the details on my Instagram, Michael Odewale Comedy,
Wicked.
or you can DM me, I guess. Sometimes. I'll come down.
Cool. Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Elliot Still or on Twitter at ElliotStillCom. I got a show on March 13th. I'm going to be doing Glasgow Comedy Festival with Ryan Cullen and Gareth War. I'm basically going to Glasgow to see my mates and do 20 minutes of stand-up while I'm there. So come down. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm doing that McCanliff Comedy Festival on May 1st, I believe. Have you done that?
Where's that?
Festival?
No.
McCanliff.
All the details are there first time.
Yeah. I'll be doing that. I don't know how many McCanliff. I don't even know if that's the name of it, but it's hard to pronounce.
I don't know what it is.
See what I mean? This is colonial. Even British people are like colonial type of British people. I know the name of your town.
Canliff, I wouldn't go there.
Mike's not going.
I'm not coming.
And I'm on Instagram. We've also got B-Tech Philosophers Instagram page where we'll be posting all the great B-Tech Philosophers content. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be this week because most of this it was fun, but like I mean, it shouldn't be without context.
And most of it is without context, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it shouldn't be without context because then it looks bad.
It does. We're grossly overestimating repeat listeners from week 1 to
yeah, we really have. But thank you for all the downloads and the messages of support. That's really cool. And we're going to be putting out I imagine if you listen to this, the videos are going to start being on YouTube. They're going to be start being. It's going to all be on Spotify and all wherever you listen to podcasts. And this has been B-Tech Philosophers Week 2. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.